What's good, XRP traders and investors? It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth. Today's Thursday, April 7th. Hope you're doing awesome out there today. And in this short video, we're going to be discussing the possibility of settlement between Ripple and the SEC at some point in April. So this month, going to give my thoughts and opinions on that. I did a post on TradingView. I posted an idea that we could potentially see this settlement at some point this month, and that was about a week ago. And I've got an article from 2 days ago that's talking about the exact same thing, saying that we could potentially see a settlement as early as this month. Before we get to it though, make sure to smash the like, subscribe to the channel, tick the bell, all that stuff, and you'll be notified on any future updates. Like I said, going to do some charting and some technical analysis at the end as well, and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions on the chart leading into the days and weeks and months ahead. So first on the list, Ripple lawsuit settlement this month. So this is from the Motley Fool. Obviously, we take what they say with a grain of salt, but sometimes they have some articles that have some truth and some merit to them. Like I said, that was published April 5th, so 2 days ago. And I made a post on TradingView. I posted an idea you can see here from March 30th. And I said, Ripple and SEC settlement in April, XRP rounded bottom holding. Will the SEC settle with Ripple in April? Here is the rounded bottom update and some price targets on how I could see this playing out. We also have the weekly inverted head and shoulders target of about $1.50. If this plays out, we could see new all-time highs on XRP leading into May. I'll bring up the XRP chart here in a moment, and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions on that, and I'll give you another update from the last one was on the 30th of March, right? So I'll give you an update here now on April 7th. Ripple lawsuit settlement this month, says the Motley Fool. Experts have said that Ripple lawsuit settlement could happen this month. Here's why that matters to XRP holders. We are rapidly approaching a key date of Ripple Labs lawsuit. According to legal experts, a settlement may be reached as soon as this month. And Ripple is said to have the upper hand in the potential trial, which has led some to speculate that the SEC may be willing to actually, finally settle. We know that about 95%, maybe more, of the cases that that the SEC is taking on, usually it ends in settlement, right? Although no dates have been set in stone, there are several reasons to think that the settlement may be coming as soon as this month. In this article, I will explore a few reasons why we might get a settlement soon and what a potential settlement would look like for XRP holders. So the lawyer, Jeremy Hogan, you're probably familiar with him, very, very popular, runs the channel Legal Briefs. Go give him a subscribe. But essentially, he just said he was giving his opinion, his best guess, and with him being a lawyer, his guess might have some weight behind it, and he thinks it could happen as early as this month. And number two, the beginning of the trial is rapidly approaching. According to courtroom filings, the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit will go to trial in August if no settlement is reached. Therefore, if a settlement occurs at all, it is likely to happen soon. And then what a settlement could mean, basically, they just say that they're due to be fined $1.3 billion plus the interest. They go on to say that if they settle, obviously it would be a lot less than that, right? It might be a couple $100 million or something like that. But if they lose, then that could be very detrimental to Ripple's business, because they would have to pay that $1.3 billion fine plus interest, and it might be the demise of the company, right? But I personally am of the thinking we're going to see a settlement at some point soon. And as the saying goes, show me the chart and I'll tell you the news. And we'll look at the chart here in just a moment. XRP, in other news, takes back 7th place in the crypto market as more payment firms onboard RippleNet. So you can see here, took back the 7th spot from Terra Luna, and Solana just creeping right there ahead as well, not too far ahead, just a little over $1 billion in terms of market cap. And then behind that, USDC, BNB, USDT, ETH, and BTC. And as we know, XRP took the number 2 spot, and it's just been basically held back, right? I think that they know that the ETH 2.0 is coming out. Bitcoin, the mining wasn't sustainable from renewable energy, and it's still, why do we need mining when we have things that don't require mining? And I think that, XRP is the layer 1 blockchain that just works, right? It's the best competitor, and it's the one that just works. We all know that the fees are exorbitant and just almost laughable with Ethereum, and Bitcoin's no better, and it takes so long to send a transaction, right? I saw John Deaton was at the Bitcoin 2022 Miami conference, and he said that he tipped the cab driver in XRP. He didn't have time to wait for BTC and ETH to send. I thought that was pretty funny, as he had the XRP hat taunting all the Bitcoin maxis. And I'm not a Bitcoin hater by any means. I used to own it, but I sold it when it hit its 3.618 extension last year, when we ran up to the almost 70,000. and we were at about 64,000, and that was when I was all out. Basically, as soon as we hit 60,000, I was looking to trim, and we were hitting those Fibonacci extension levels, which we'll look at here in a moment as well. I'll try to remember to bring up the Bitcoin chart to show you exactly what I'm looking at, because it does relate to XRP and what we could potentially expect for price targets, and I'll give you those in a moment. So Ripple investment arm also reveals new concepts for NFT-focused use cases on the XRP ledger. Article from the Daily Hodl. So lots going on in the background. So quick update on the rounded bottom. We are losing and you got to be on the log scale here to see it, but you can see all the way back from March 2020 lows at 11 cents to when the SEC brought the lawsuit there at 17-cent low. We're holding this rounded bottom, and now's the time where we're about to go parabolic, in my opinion. And that's why I said about a week ago, are we going to see a settlement in April? Because by this logic, if we follow this, we're currently breaking the pattern, though. We're currently invalidating it, but the week isn't over yet. But if we keep following this, which we have been since March 2020, then we could potentially see prices for XRP go parabolic up to that $1.30 to $1.50 area. Like I said, we have a weekly inverse head and shoulders that has a target of $1.50 as well. So I could easily see us at $1.50 by April 18th, so into the third and fourth week of April, which also lines up again with this line of thinking where we could see a potential settlement this month. And again, as the saying goes, show me the charts and I'll tell you the news. Just funny how I was able to say that on March 30th, and then now we have all these media companies actually saying the same thing. But you can see here we're breaking out of this. We dipped below it again last week as well for the first time. That was the first time we broke out of it, but I said I don't care about the lower wick, because we usually see these fake outs right before we go parabolic, and also Bitcoin was pulling back, so it was just following Bitcoin. So not as worried as long as we close this weekly candle at 90 cents or above. So you can see last week I said I wanted this to close over 80 cents. We ended up closing at 84. And like I said, this week we're breaking out of that pattern, but we're essentially just testing this previous support here as well from these weekly higher lows, and we're just looking for a weekly higher low compared to the low there at 62 cents. We almost changed the weekly trend, and we essentially double topped there on the price action, and that was again because Bitcoin and Ethereum are in weekly uptrends already, but they started pulling back. So XRP was a little bit weaker, and because the granddaddy Bitcoin started pulling back, that's why we're starting to see XRP do the same. Again, as long as we close this weekly candle, let's take a look at the level. I want to see us close at or above 90 cents on XRP, obviously in US dollars. I need to see it close over 90 cents and above to maintain this. If not, we're at risk of a further downfall here. Well, the supports to be watching are 62 cents, and then the low here at 54 cents. And then after that, 51 cents. If we lost 50 cents, that would be extremely bad from here. And that would probably come as a result of any bad news of the lawsuit or a huge drop in the broader market and Bitcoin. But again, we need to close over 90 cents to keep this alive. And like I said, I think that we could potentially see some momentum coming out of Bitcoin 2022, and we could also see a potential settlement leading into the third and fourth week of April. That would set us for parabolic movement. And if I just extrapolate this out here a little bit, we could potentially see $2 to $3 as early as April 25th to May 2nd. So again, on May 2nd, this white line that I drew up here, we could potentially be setting all-time highs right around the first to second week of May if this all plays out as expected. And also, if we take a look at the fib extension levels, I'll just zoom out here so you can see this. If we go back to the 2017 all-time high to the all-time low, well, not all-time low, but local high to local low, so swing high to swing low, and we get our fib extensions. This is what Bitcoin and Ethereum have already done as well. We'll bring up the Ethereum chart. So Ethereum has already met its 3.618 fib extension. If we go back from the 2017 highs to the low of the bear market there, it's already reached that 3.618 fib extension. Bitcoin has already done so as well. And we hit, like I said, from that all-time high, we were up about 2.5x from the previous all-time high. What I think is going to happen is we're going to see one more final push on Bitcoin. We'll form a lower high, even got a potential here for a head and shoulders. And then once we form the right shoulder on that retracement, I think alt season's going to go absolutely berserk, and we're going to see XRP really start to take off. It's usually one of the last in the bullish cycles and our mega cycles. And like I said, if we see what Bitcoin, if XRP just does what Bitcoin and Ethereum have already done this bull cycle, then we could potentially expect a target at the 3.618 at $11.41. And then we have the 4.618 there at $14.54. I'm of the thinking we're going to hit at least $10 this bull cycle before we enter a bear market and potentially retrace back to that $3 area, the previous all-time highs. I think we're going to shoot up parabolic. We're obviously not going to go straight there in a straight line. What I could potentially see happening in that rounded bottom is we come up, we see a huge God candle, and then we form a series of higher lows on the way up. But it's likely going to happen hard and fast, and if you're not ready for it, you're likely going to miss it. And like I said, once we go up and test that $10 to $15 area, which I think is very doable before the end of this cycle, once we do top out, I think we'll come back down, test that old all-time high there around $3.80, $4, and then we'll come back down, confirm it as support. And then, as we know, Ripple could even IPO after a successful win in the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit, and that would obviously drive even more. And then once the banks and all these institutions are going to have the green light in this regulatory clarity, XRP being the first of any crypto, mind you, getting that legal clarity, the sky really is the limit. And the trick will be to not sell too high. I've got my price target levels. I'm going to be taking some profit at $5, some profit at $10, some profit at $15, and if we hit $20, I'll be all out of 80 to 90% of my position. I'm going to hold 10 to 20% long term, and that's how I'm playing it. And I'll just hold until then. Until then, I'll outpatient everybody else. I've been holding XRP since 2017, early 2017. I was one of the originals. And like I said, I knew that they were working with the system. They were so transparent, and the use case is literally trillions and trillions of dollars. The problem that they're looking to solve is solving a multi-trillion dollar problem, and that's where I want to park my dollars for the long term. Let me know in the chat if you agree with me, disagree with me. Always love hearing from you. Make sure to smash the like, subscribe to the channel on your way out. I would appreciate it. And tick the bell. You'll be notified on the next video. As always, we'll see you again in the next video. Have a great night, everybody.